right. Hello, Amsterdam. We'd like to start today by thanking the folks from Green Book. We'd like to thank our judges for being here and all of you folks who are now scurrying back from your lunch. We are actually from the Epitome Group, which is a boutique market research firm based in Chicago. And needless to say, we are excited to be here today and not back in Chicago with the thunder, snow, and massive flooding. So,
now to quickly introduce ourselves, I'm Dr. Seamus O'Driscoll. This is my colleague, Dr. Zachary Lamm. Both of us have PhDs in narratology, which is the science of how and why we tell stories. Today, we're going to give you a brief overview of narrative logic. It's a research technology about 3 years in the making, and it's delivering fantastic results for clients. Yay, this worked.
Okay. So what is narrative logic? Narrative logic brings together decades of research in brand strategy with over a century of research in narrative science. And by combining these two, we've been able to develop a technology that is able to operationalize the deep structures of the psyche to figure out what it is that drives consumption and that makes brands meaningful.
So what is narrative logic? What can it do? What can it uncover? Narrative logic is a technology that was designed to assist with 3 critical aspects of brand strategy development: target discovery, brand positioning, and brand story. We don't have time to go through these 3 things today. We only have 5 minutes. But our goal, our immediate goal, is to bring narrative logic to new companies and markets. And over the midterm, we hope to develop the technology towards a goal of becoming a sort of Myers-Briggs for narrative brand storytelling. There we go, okay. It took us about 3 years to develop the technology. We launched about 1.5 years ago. An early adopter of the technology was Honeywell. Since starting with the Honeywell safety brand globally, we've done about 10 different brands, repositioned them for Honeywell across the world in all different markets. And we have another 10 Honeywell power brands that are scheduled for the first 7 months of this year.
And not that gas detectors and hearing protection aren't very exciting, but I was personally really enjoyed working on rum, fine wine, some of the more exciting products that we've done here more recently. But narrative logic has brought value to brands in all different types of categories, from healthcare, consumer products, beverage, alcohol.
Now, the good folks here at Green Book laid out some parameters for our presentation. There are 5 things that we have to accomplish in this presentation. So we wanted to make sure that our good judges, that we address each one point by point. In terms of market potential, we really see no limit to what narrative logic can accomplish. Even if you think that only 5% of the very huge demand for global market research is in deep discovery techniques, there's plenty of room for narrative logic with many, many, many different companies. In terms of scalability, our initial concern about narrative logic was the time it took to process a case. But as you can see from the days to finish numbers that we have now, we've really narrowed the gap. It was 28 days in the beginning. We've got it now down to 4 days. And the way we did this was rethinking our business model from top to bottom. And we did this by building an infrastructure that's based on apps. So basically, everything that we do now in the company, we can do from our phone, from sales management, project management, authoring, collaboration and field research, quantitative research, and all of our back office systems. They're all delivered with apps on the phone.
We've also streamlined our training program so that we can prep narratologists to actually do narrative logic in a really short span of time. Narrative logic does require a PhD level researcher, but as I can attest, there are no shortage of people who are sort of willing to jump off of the academic ship to join the brand strategy world.
I'm going to quickly show you some of the results. We've tested 11 of our brands quantitatively, 7 in international markets all over the world. You can see from the flags at the bottom. Honeywell is very strict about this type of thing, so we've had a lot of support for quantitative testing. And narrative logic consistently outperforms competitive concepts. In this case, for example, 4 to 1. And there's a summary showing some really good performance numbers.
So in these last few seconds here, let's take a look under the hood of narrative logic.
Very quickly, narrative logic is very complicated, hard to do in 5 minutes, but it's based on some simple truths. Narrative is central to human identity. It's how we make sense of the world. It's action-oriented, and in our 24/7 Twitter and Facebook universe, it's all the more relevant.
We have taken those insights to create something that we call our subject activation model. Value is created for brands, sorry,
Okay.
we're out of time there. Value is created for brands as they activate all elements of the psyche. And there we go.